ask me, "Why you got the glasses on? Why you got the glasses on?" Told y'all my eye got messed swelled up. I got to style my eye for those who keep asking. But I think I like sunglasses. Really didn't care for them other than to block the sun when I drive. So I really didn't care for them at all. But I like them now. Start buying them. Damn, this shit sweet than a motherfucker. No sugar, but sweet. But yeah, it's Ausar Thompson, untradeable for the Detroit Pistons. Let me say this now: if you looking at a Giannis trade, Ja Morant, not Ja Morant, but Devin Booker trade, Ausar Thompson is probably definitely got to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Because his value is too high. And the Pistons, from everything I hear behind the scenes, the Pistons love him. So, and you might ask, why bring in a Booker or bring in a Giannis and keep Ausar? Versatility. People say, "Oh, he can't shoot." Been plenty of players in this league that's made all-star teams that succeed in this league who can't shoot. He do everything else exceptionally well, and I think he fits with K Booker because guess what? K Booker can shoot. Let's say for the hell of it, you get Nas Reed at the 4, you keep Tobias. Somehow, you got enough shooting on the floor right there, so he can take all those hard defensive matchups. He can facilitate, he can create, he can handle, he can create for others. I mean, he's really the ultimate utility knife, and if he started to just hit a mid-range jumper, it's over with. So, to be honest, you really banking on that potential, on shooting. And once he shoot, I think it's over with. I think shit, he probably one of the elite players in this league. So, do I really want to trade that? I really don't. And then if he's healthy, and that might deter teams from saying, no, he dealt with them blood clots. Maybe we don't want him. And that's cool by us. But like I said before, the swing he on, the upswing he on, is beautiful. It's beautiful. I would love to see that manifest and continue in Detroit, and see what he do with his jumper over the season. A lot of these coaches had him start learning how to shoot at the 3-point line. That's a big mistake, bro. That's a huge mistake. I've always said that. Usually when you're dealing with range, your form, when you're a novice shooter, it drops off for range. Just think about it. The further you out, the more you compromise your shooting stroke, especially when you get to half court. You get to that, you compromise your shooting form. So, but at this point, it's really how much they value Booker, how much they value Giannis or anybody else, and then really some guys you can buy low on, like Zion Williamson. I don't believe old girl at all. His stock might have just got cheaper because of that accusation. There's some guys you can buy low on, So that's the beautiful thing. There's some guys out there that's going to continue to come up that people are going to be looking to sell and get rid of. So, but right now, I think if you're going to get a big name, he's going to be involved. Kind of like I talked on another channel about Minnesota. People ask me about, them getting Kevin Durant. And my thing about getting Kevin Durant was, you're going to have to give up Rob Dillingham. And do you really want to do that? That's kind of like an SGA trade from the Clippers. I think I'm high on Rob Dillingham. Extremely high on him. So that's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question. But humble opinion, I think I'm kind of siding on them making, you know, small deals like Nas Reed. You know, maybe I'm open to a Zion type of deal if it don't cost you much, maybe. But for the most part, I want to keep Cade and Ausar Thompson. You know, I want to keep those brothers together because they play two ways and they don't need the ball to be effective. You know how rare it is to find guys, but you can make a case that Booker don't need the ball to be effective. That's very rare. You know, when you got people, you got these young bulls who can play without the basketball. That's what I like about Ausar Thompson. He can do facilitate, he can cut, he'll rebound. He'll crash the boards, he'll throw his body around, he finish strong, athletic, can guard the best player, not selfish. I mean, to me, I'm a lean on the side of no. I'm leaning on the side of no. I'm almost a hell no. It's just so hard to find guys like that. You know what I'm saying? But if I did, it'd have to be a guy like that, like a Booker. But for the most part, Cade and, you know, even if they trade Durant, I understand it. I get it. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it, but I get it. You know, but I like to see them just, you know, make an improvement like a Nas Reed or a Bobby Portis. You know, or get one of them players that don't cost you much. But I understand it's hard when you get a player like Giannis and you can get Giannis to come to your team, instantly become a title contender. Booker, you bring Booker to Detroit, you already kind of like a title, you become instantly a title contender. Maybe not to the threat you are with Giannis, you know, but you become a title contender and you sell out tickets with both of them. You get Giannis or Booker, them season tickets gone, bro. Them season tickets gone. So you can bet on that. But I think when you have that type of camaraderie that the Pistons have in the locker room, that's hard to pass up. I believe that's hard to pass up. You know, I believe that's hard to pass up. So, you know, my humble opinion, you know, I'm gonna keep Ausar right now, but you know, the deal on the table, you know, so you know, niggas start changing their minds and shit. But right now, they just got such a good group of guys that love to play for each other. And guess what? You might take a step or two back and you start getting punched in the mouth last season. But to be honest, you know, I think that may not be the case because they still got a chip on their shoulder. When you lose the way you lose to New York, and you don't have your horses, or you feel like the NBA favored New York, you got a chip on your shoulder. So they play with an edge. You know, they play with a hunger. They remember when people kicked them when they was down. You don't forget that. Why do you think remember them .com millionaires, and you know, you see these dudes who got money, and you see these dudes who got money or didn't have money, and they come up and they finally get money, and they don't have a soul for nobody. They don't have a heart for nobody. Remember how they kicked you when you was down? Same thing with the Pistons. When Jaylen Brown made those comments that he made, that was the best thing that happened to Detroit. Talking about I'm paraphrasing, we let our backups get burned. I mean, come on, as a man and as a competitor, you know what I'm saying? If you don't feel some type of way when somebody make a disrespectful comment like that, I mean, honestly, bro, you really ain't no man and you really ain't no competitor. Come on, have some pride. Have some pride. But that's all I pretty much got to say. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Follow me everywhere I produce the content at. Peace.